Hey guys, it's Gameface here, and welcome back to episode 72 of our Manchester City career mode. Now in today's episode, we've got the January transfer window to finish off. We've got 2 games to play before we are able to finish it off. So the first game is against Burnley. That game's going to be simmed. Then we've got a match to play in the Cup, and that is against Bournemouth, and that's the semi-final. It's the second leg of that one against Bournemouth. We won the first leg 2-0, so obviously in a good position going into the second leg. But like I say, we've got to try and finish off the January transfer window. We're going to make probably one more signing, and that is a new goalkeeper, basically. So we sold Edison in the last episode because he was wanting to leave. He was refusing to accept a new contract, and so we've had to get rid of him. If you didn't see the last episode, I definitely recommend watching it so you can get yourselves up to date. The link to that's in the description below, and we are going to be signing ourselves a new goalkeeper after this game against Burnley. Before we get into today's episode though, if we could try and hit 100 likes, I would really appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button all down below, and that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you all so much for the support on the channel. Let's crack on with today's episode though. This is the side that I'm going to go with for the game that we've got coming up against Burnley. We're going to sim the game with a changed team, so quite risky, but we're going to do it anyway. Carter, Company, Mangala, Ferreira, Manuel, Delph, Roberts, Ferreira, Selena, Moreno and Fernandez all starting. It's a home game against Burnley. It's a 3-at-the-back formation. So a lot of risks involved in this game. I'm hoping it doesn't backfire though. A strong bench to help us out if we do need to bring on any changes during the game. Roy Brady scored 20 minutes in, not the start we were after. Roberts has equalised though in the 31st minute, approaching half-time and into the second half. Still remains 1-1. Need to try and get ourselves back in front if possible. 30 minutes left of this game. Looking for that winning goal if we can. 15 minutes to go now. And Silva's come on Manuel off, and it doesn't look like anything's going to happen unless... No. It's a 1-1 draw. We've basically dropped 2 points there against Burnley. Frustrating to have done that. Because we've dropped enough points really over the last few weeks, so we didn't really want to drop any more, so that's frustrating. I think when we get starting to play some more games when we get out of the January transfer window, then we'll start to pick up some more points. But whenever I go into a transfer window, I always sim more matches so we can get to the transfers. That's something I always do, and I suppose you have to expect you will drop points somewhere along the way. Let's go to some play drills though this week and see how we get on. A couple of actories going up, not that many to be honest this week, quite a bad week, but we will continue to try and train up these same guys. Hoping to bring in a goalkeeper for this game against Bournemouth, waiting to hear back on the contract situation. This should be now, and it is. We've got all 3 of them accepting the contract, so it's basically now who do I sign out of those 3. Before we get onto that, Sunderland have come back and matched the £16 million that we asked for Fernandez. He's clearly played his last game in the last match, which should be simmed, and he's off to Sunderland. £16 million, pretty good, pretty decent amount. Happy with that, and now we can move on to take a look at the keeper situation. £113 million to spend, and we have 3 different options. £60 million for Donnarumma, 42 for Ter Stegen, and 38 for Jack Butland, but obviously very differing wages as well. We are going to be re-signing Donnarumma. 88 overall, 20 years old, you can't really go wrong with that. £60 million, I know it's a lot of money, but this is the last transfer window. We're running out of time. We're not going to sign anybody else. We'll just lose the money at the end of the season anyway, so we may as well spend it whilst we have it. So the price tag is really no issue. If it was 100 million, I'd still pay it, because there's nobody else that we're going to bring in. So it doesn't really make sense to just have the money sat there doing nothing. So we'll bring in Donnarumma, £60 million. I was going to bring in Ter Stegen. He was supposed to be the front runner. He looks like he could have been the best, but a 20-year-old that's 88 overall, you can't really argue too much with that. 6'5", I like a tall goalkeeper as well. And his stats kind of speak for himself, to be honest. So £60 million spent on a new goalkeeper there. Still technically a saving on Edison, even though this guy's younger and better in overall, because Edison we managed to get just under £65 million for. So, we've actually saved ourselves, or gained £5 million as a net spend, if you like. So really happy with that. Donnarumma returns to the club. We originally sold him to bring in Edison to make the career mode more realistic, but then of course, I think last season, at the start of last season, I said that I was going to move away from realism a bit, and now it is the opportunity for us to re-sign Donnarumma. I'm not too sure how much we sold him for, to be honest, but I don't care anyway. To be honest, £6 million for an 88 rated goalkeeper is pretty decent. 20 years old, incredible overall. And that probably signals the end of our spending spree, to be totally honest. I say a spending spree, we've only really bought 1 player, but, obviously we have spent £6 million on him, so it was a decent signing for us to get. Ter Stegen and Jack Butland won't be needed. I did actually put in a bid in between episodes for Leno, just in case those deals didn't work for whatever reason. That was a £50 million bid, but we've not heard back from that just yet. But on to the game against Bournemouth, let's change around the team and decide what team I'll put out. Okay, so this is the side I'm going to go with for the game against Bournemouth. Bournemouth are going to play a 4-4-2 formation, so we're going to go to a 4 at the back. A 2 or a 3 at the back won't work, I don't think, against 2 up front. So we're going with 4, we're going a 4-3-3 holding formation as well, so a little bit more conservative than usual maybe. Although we have actually played this sort of formation quite regularly in the early seasons of this career mode. But I've gone with Donnarumma in goal, Cancelo right back, Tar, Stones and Rose in defence, Alaba in front of that with De Bruyne and Sol either side of him. Neymar, Sané and Gabriel Jesus are the front three, so a really strong team. We're going all out really to get ourselves a win in this game. Let's see how we get on, hopefully get ourselves into the next round. A 2-goal advantage will obviously help with that. Okay, let's crack on with this match against Bournemouth. Donnarumma making his first appearance since rejoining us. Really excited to see what he has in store for us now that he's back in the team. And of course, £60 million spent on him. A lot of money spent, but obviously I think worth it anyway for a 20-year-old that's 88 overall. And it kind of fits exactly what I'm after. Hopefully we can get ourselves a good result in this game. Decided to obviously change formation a little bit. Didn't really fancy, to be honest, playing a 2 or a 3 at the back. Given the fact that they'll be playing 2 strikers. Hopefully this will work though, the 4-3-3, and hopefully allow us to get a couple of midfielders forward at the same time. Rose through the middle to Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus trying to beat the centre-back, still going, great run, he's going to shoot as well. Saved just about by the goalkeeper, out for a corner, their first proper chance really of the game. There's not been that many for either side. And Kevin De Bruyne to swing one in, Neymar's in there, so we go right back out to Kevin De Bruyne. Can he put a better delivery in? It's much better, but the keeper saves it this time. Neymar, now it's Gabriel Jesus. Great pass, Gabriel Jesus running through. Come on, he's got to get the finish right now. Gabriel Jesus, he does off the post into the back of the net. It's 1-0 just before half-time, and we've given ourselves the lead. Exactly what we had to do. That's an away goal as well, 3-0 on aggregate. And now the game should be pretty much over, I would have thought. There's 45 minutes left, but a 3-goal advantage and an away goal should be enough, really, to see us into the next round now. And that means that we'll probably make some changes, to be honest, at half-time. It's not been a great first half, by any means. I mean, this is our strongest team, probably, and yet we've not really performed that well, to be honest. It's been fairly average, but we have been the better of the 2 average teams, and that's enough for us to get the goal so far. Need to try and pick things up a little bit, though, in the second half, despite us probably going to make some changes. We should still have a good enough team to go out and get a few more goals. Half-time, winning the game 1-0, 3-0 aggregate still. Let's make the changes now. Bournemouth, 0 shots so far. Although, to be fair, we've only had 2. All 3 changes, just going to protect some of the key players here. Sol, Alaba and Sané all coming off. We'll bring on Gundogan, Delph and Belotti. We'll put Gabriel Jesus out onto the left-hand side, see how that goes. Hopefully he gets on okay up there. It would be tempting to put Neymar out on that side, but just never feel like Neymar's getting involved enough out wide at all, or up front, to be honest. He's just not really getting involved in the game that much. He certainly did very well when he first signed for us, and then played at a left centre attacking mid. But since then, and since we've changed formation a little bit, he just hasn't adapted at all. He's not looked good. And I've actually been contemplating selling him, to be honest, because his impact isn't enough for a 94 rated player. I'd rather have someone that impacts us a little bit more, even if they are a much lower overall. Delph looking for a switch out to Gabriel Jesus. What a pass from Delph. What a touch as well from Gabriel Jesus. Now he's off on a run. He needs some support into the middle. Gabriel Jesus waiting for a cutback maybe, and yeah, it wasn't much of a cutback, was it? Neymar out to the right-hand side. Really good run from Neymar. Waits for a cutback. Go on! Oh, Kevin De Bruyne's shot was saved by the goalkeeper. Belotti couldn't quite get anywhere near to finish off, and it's cleared. That's it. The game has finished 1-0, 3-0 aggregate, of course, into the next round, which is fantastic. The next round being the final, I'm pretty sure, actually. Not so happy with the performance, I suppose, in this game. It's the good result. It's obviously the right result to get us through into the next round. But going forward, we can't really afford to perform like this too many more times. Because, yeah, not a fantastic first half performance in particular. More shots in the second half, so there is some positive to take from that. We had about 7 or 8, I think, in total in the whole game. I think 2 of them came in the first half, so you can work out how many we had in the second. Bournemouth just actually only had 1 shot. I mean, to be honest, Donnarumma wasn't really, didn't really have to do anything at all. He just had to catch a few crosses, and overall performed really, really well, actually, when he caught those crosses. So I was quite impressed with him. He looked very comfortable in goal, probably one of the better keepers that we've had in recent times. Even though Edison was so good for us, he just looks so good in goal, as Donnarumma. The 4-3-3 formation does actually give us quite a lot of security, so it's good in that sense, but I'm just not happy with the way in which it attacks, to be honest. It doesn't attack the way that I was hoping it would, and yeah, I was a little bit disappointed with that, to be honest. Donnarumma accepts the contract, and we offered in the last episode no interest, obviously, in pursuing another goalkeeper, with the fact that we already have a Donnarumma signing. That's a different one that just happens to have the same name. Player suspended. John Stones, too many yellow cards. Can't play the next match. Player sold. Fernandes has gone to Sunderland. We get £14 million from that deal. Pretty happy with that, to be honest. Decent chunk of money. Leverkusen accepted the £50 million bid that we put in for Leno. Of course, no longer going to pursue that one because we have a new goalkeeper. But now we are, I think, in the transfer deadline days, so 10 hours just to go through and try and get rid of some players. We're not going to be bringing in anybody else. We've got about £53 million left still and a decent wage budget, but no intention of signing anyone else. Coutinho went to Villarreal in the end, so for those of you wondering, for those who wanted me to sign him, I did see that in the comments. He has actually already left to Villarreal, £50 million. Don't know where they got that sort of money from, don't really know how they could get him for that sort of money, but it's happened anyway. Transfer offer in here for Alfie Allen. Was he a player that we transfer listed? I think he might have been. I'm glad I checked because, no, he wasn't transfer listed. £2.2 million from Chelsea. We're going to reject it. No real interest in getting rid of him, to be honest. He's played a few times for us before. He's got some decent individual attributes. We obviously need to continue to try and train him up. But certainly, I still think, despite being 19 and only 68 overall, I still think he's got a good potential in him. And I'm hopefully going to get him involved maybe next season, if there is a next season, of course. So yeah, hopefully that happens. And that concludes the transfer deadline day. So yeah, not really too much to show you, to be honest. In those 10 hours, nothing really happened. A little bit disappointing. Still had about 4 players, I think, to get rid of. So I was a bit frustrated that we didn't get any more bids in. But yeah, transfer deadline day ends, and we have got a few emails to take a look at. Company wants to leave in the next transfer window. I thought he was leaving in that one, to be totally honest, but obviously not. Kevin De Bruyne says not feeling up to it. That's obviously because he's played recently and got a game against Cardiff now to play, which is just a couple of days after the last cup game that we played. It's the 4th round of the FA Cup, so a lot of cup games at the moment. Just seems to be the case. Just entered February now as well, so we do have some interesting fixtures to come up, along with the Manchester Derby in today's episode still. So incredible. We'll end today's episode on that. But let's first of all get on with the game against Cardiff, change on the team, because obviously we will be thinking ahead to that game against Man United, especially after we've dropped some points recently in the league. Okay, so it's the team that I'm going to go with for this game against Cardiff in the Cup. It's a 3-at-the-back formation, expecting Cardiff to go with 1 striker, so we have obviously only 3 centre-backs and freed up an extra man in midfield. And of course that obviously gives us 2 strikers up front as well. Donnarumma starts in goal. We've got Nerig, Mangala, Ferreira, Kone, Castro, Sterling, Richardson and Asensio all playing with Belotti and Pereira in front of them. An interesting sort of team. Obviously a few decent players kind of drizzled on top of a team which is made up of mostly youngsters, to be totally honest, but still enough, I think, to be able to get ourselves into the next round here against Cardiff. Got Gomez starting on the bench. Company, Harrison, Diaz, Selena, Moreno and Ferreira provide other pretty young options, bar Company, of course. And yeah, let's crack on with the game against Cardiff, and then of course we'll be thinking about the game against Man United afterwards. But yeah, we do have a huge match to finish off today's episode with as well. Okay, let's go for this game against Cardiff. Quite looking forward to the match, actually. It should be a game that we win really, really comfortably, despite obviously changes to the team, because we still have so many good players in the side, despite the changes. But we'll wait and see what happens. Sometimes you can come up against the slightly lesser sides, and they can actually play pretty well. And to be honest, they have started pretty positively with a few decent passes they've put together. Pereira. Go on, Belotti, look to capitalise from a mistake, and we have done. It's 1-0. Cardiff give the ball straight to us, and from then on we were able to just do basically a couple of passes, get ourselves into the box and finish it off there through Belotti. It's important for Belotti to, I think, start in this game. Gabriel Jesus was too tired to even get onto the bench, but I thought I'd start Belotti nevertheless, despite obviously being a cup game, because I wanted him to get his goals tally up, and it seems like it's happening here. It's just obviously a goal for now, but it's a good way to start that. Hopefully he can get himself a couple more in the remainder of this game. 32 minutes in, got ourselves the opening goal. That's it for the first half, still winning the game 1-0. Obviously got ourselves into the lead here, and we are playing some good football. The better team, of course, in this match. Cardiff, 0 chances, 0 shots, I should say, and really not doing anything at all to threaten us at the back. We've had 3 shots, 1 on target, 1 goal so far, so we definitely could improve. There's a slight issue, I think, with positioning, again, with those midfielders, which is a bit frustrating. Kone getting beyond Asensio, more than Asensio's getting into attack, so that might have to change. In fact, yeah, you could do just getting into the box. That's probably one of the issues that we've had in this game. Hopefully that can work out a little bit better in the second half. We might look to maybe freshen up the team a little bit, I think, in the second half, but for now we'll keep the team the same. Hopefully that tactical tweak will hopefully help us early on. Asensio. On to Belotti, great pass. Belotti now running through. It's got to be a second for him. Belotti does, he makes it 2-0. Doubles our lead, doubles his goal tally as well for this game. And that little bit of extra quality has given us a bit of edge, to be honest, in this game so far. We're early on in the second half and got the second goal we desperately needed to give us a bit of breathing room in front of Cardiff now. 51 minutes into the game, got the second goal. Belotti gets it. And hopefully now we can just go on to get a few more goals, as Cardiff will have to push more players forward. Okay, so all 3 changes, about 25-30 minutes left of this game. Diaz, Moreno and Ferreira all coming on. We'll take off Asensio, Raheem Sterling and Belotti. Obviously Belotti getting himself 2 goals so far in this game, so he might be quite useful off the bench for us in the United match in a few days' time. Let's see whether we can get ourselves a couple more goals though before the end of this game. Donnarumma making a good save there with what might well be Cardiff's first shot of the game, I think. Out for a corner, an opportunity for us to try and clear it, maybe get a counter-attack going if we can. Kennedy to deliver, and got to try and head away. Not done it straight away, but Donnarumma saves easily. Ferreira looks at a counter-attack from one of their free kicks. Now needs a forward runner. Can he find it through Diaz here? Needs some more support, potentially Diaz as well. On to Moreno, who's going out wide on his left foot. Oh, good save from the goalkeeper. And actually Ferreira's still got it into the middle, back to Moreno. And that's the 3rd goal. Really well played from Ferreira there, winning it back. And instantly playing the pass across. Fantastic stuff. Managed to capitalise from the Cardiff City mistake. And well played from Moreno by judging that and getting a toe to it. 3-0. That's very much the game to bed now. And there's about, I think, 10 minutes left of the game. Moreno waiting for Diaz to make the right run. He has done. Diaz to shoot on his left foot over the bar. Of course, it's weaker side, but wanted to try and get it on target if possible. Didn't manage to do it. Lifted it over the bar, and with 2 minutes to go, it still remains 3-0. That's it. We've won the game 3-0. Really happy with that. It's a comfortable victory, and the formation has worked perfectly in this game. It's absolutely prevented any sort of Cardiff City chances at all, to be honest. We've completely dominated them, and it's the comfortable victory that it should have been against a Cardiff City team like this. Despite all the changes that we made, a 3-0 win is obviously very good. I can't imagine what it would have been if we had all the usual star players out, to be honest. But yeah, really happy with that. Belotti's performance in the first half in particular was very, very good. So really happy with it, and it gets us into the next round of the FA Cup. On some play drills before this game against Man United. Basically, I brought in Pereira to do 2 drills. Not too sure exactly where the other guys have gone that was supposed to be the drills. Maybe there's some sort of injury, or I'm not really too sure, to be honest. But Pereira comes in anyway, and has done okay this week. Not too many changes, to be honest, though. We will continue to try and train up, though, over the next couple of weeks and months. Okay, so on to the game against Man United. This is the side that we're going to go with. We're going to stick with the 3-5-2 formation. It worked in the last game. This formation is going to be slightly different, though, for Man United, so it might not necessarily work. We might have to change to a 4 at the back. We have Kyle Walker on the bench to be able to do that. Donnarumma starts in goal. Stones, Tar, Mangala in defence. In front of that, Kevin De Bruyne, Alaba, Sterling, Sané and Silva. And then we've got Gabriel Jesus and Neymar starting up front. This is the bench I've gone with. Gomez, Kyle Walker, Sol, Asensio, Gundogan, Belotti and Ferreira. Belotti maybe a little bit hard done by not to be in the starting 11, to be honest, in this game. But I just had Neymar asking to start, and I want to start Gabriel Jesus because I think he's our best player, or our best striker at least anyway. So really, really difficult position there to be put in. But we've decided to go with that, and that means that Belotti can still come off the bench and hopefully perform for us there as well. Let's see how we get on. It's going to be a tough game against Man United. We need to try and win the game, because obviously at the moment we've dropped too many points recently. Okay, let's go. Manchester Derby at Old Trafford. Can we get ourselves a win here? I'm pretty sure that recently we've dropped a lot of points in the Manchester Derbys. I'm pretty sure we lost the last one as well, so an opportunity for us to be able to get our revenge hopefully in this game for us. I think they've made a few changes. Fosu-Mensah playing, I think, right back there as well, and I'm pretty sure they have some other different sort of players playing this match. Griezmann starts along with Pogba and a few others as well, with the bigger names, as you'd expect, starting in this game. Pool's also starting at hold of midfielder again. He's just been dispossessed, and Silva will shoot from range and score really early on. It's the youngster Pool that gives it away, capitalises from another mistake, and it's Silva that scores 5 minutes in. He's not played, I don't think, in today's episode yet, Silva, due to formation and due to other players being in front of him, basically. But he is a very good player, and he's just proven that there with a fantastic strike early on, past David De Gea, making it 1-0. What a start to the Manchester Derby. Pogba into Lukaku, who's turning. Really good play from Tar. Good block as well from Mangala. Kept in, but put it straight to Fosu-Mensah. Luckily, Tar's there again to try and clean up if possible. Still going. Ball goes into the middle. Stones heads away. A moment for us to try and defend there. Man United pulling us really wide, and that's obviously their strength and our weakness, really, so it's working quite well. Silva's got a bit of an injury at the moment. He will remain on the pitch for now. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully he can run it off. Silva to try and deliver into the middle. No real options. Neymar trying to get there. Gabriel Jesus forced out wide into Kevin De Bruyne. Great run. Now Bernardo Silva, can he get a second? He can. It's now 2-0. We've extended that lead in the Manchester Derby. It's Bernardo Silva yet again, who's now recovered fine from his injury, which is good news. And he's got himself a second goal 23 minutes into this game. Gives us a 2-goal advantage. To be honest, we've just been clinical. Like, we've not had that many chances. We've had a few decent chances and we've just taken them. It's as simple as that. Enough finishing quality there in the final third to take them. And yeah, Man United have had 1 or 2 opportunities themselves, nothing clear-cut like ours, but have put pressure on our defence at times. So far it's been an interesting Manchester Derby, one of the better ones that we've had. I think the last one wasn't particularly good, if I remember correctly. So hopefully this can continue and maybe we can add a couple more to it as well. Silva switches to Raheem Sterling. Probably going to have to shoot from this angle. Sterling, just pulls it a little bit wide. And wrong side of the post. Half-time, still win the game 2-0. Obviously in a fantastic position at the moment. It's a great result so far. Great performance as well. Clinical with our chances. Hopefully going out to the scoreline further. And we'll see what the second half has in store for us. Sané, good delivery. Silva's in there and actually connects it, I think. Because he's going out for a goal kick. He's obviously not expected to get on the end of that one. But he got in between the two defenders and nearly found the back of the net. Just actually didn't get enough on it in the end. Oh, Jesus, that's not a good touch from Donnarumma. Whew, panicked for a second. Oh, De Bruyne is going off with an injury. I've only just noticed that. He's walking off very slowly as well. Good ball through there to Neymar. Wasn't meant to be. Neymar's still going. Neymar shoots. What a save from David De Gea. Wasn't even supposed to put a through ball. It was supposed to be into feet, to be honest, but it happened and he got in behind and maybe should do better. It was the little right-footed touch onto the left side that maybe just gave David De Gea the advantage there. We're going to make a change. Kevin De Bruyne is going to come off. Clearly got some sort of injury, so we'll replace him. We'll also make 2 more changes on top of that as well. So Asensio and Belotti will also come on, as well as Sol. Obviously with Kevin De Bruyne going off with an injury. Silva and Neymar will be replaced as well, and we'll go with Belotti and Gabriel Jesus starting up front now. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully a chance for us to get some more goals in this game. Obviously risking a little bit still playing 3 at the back. I suppose it's inevitable. Man United will probably increase the amount of players they send forward, which will certainly put us under threat there. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully get ourselves a 3rd goal to give us a bit more safety in that sense. Mangala's still up and look for a pass through into Sané. Sané looking for a flick on if he can. Cut back. Oh, Tao's on a great run there. Go on, Sané. Switch this one. Not quite where it's supposed to go. Gabriel Jesus will look for a flick on though. It's Asensio. Not the greatest touch ever, but he finds Raheem Sterling. Should be onside here, waiting for the right pass. Hopefully going to find the cutback and got blocked brilliantly. Sterling will still go for it though. Asensio goes out for a goal kick. Well played, Asensio. He wins it back. He's going to shoot. Gets blocked. Gabriel Jesus to hit it. Hits it really well as well on the volley. Good save by David De Gea so far, keeping it at 2-0 for Man United. What a ball to Martial. Probably deserved a goal just for that pass. So close to it as well. Good save by Donnarumma, keeping the clean sheet for us for now. And a chance for Man United to try and have a final attack here. Sent the keeper up, delivered the ball in. De Gea was in there. Tar has to clear. Donnarumma just about keeps hold of it. Now a counter-attack. We sent Belotti up there. And it's what a pass that is to Belotti. But he loses it to Paul, who manages to just about redeem himself for his earlier mistake. Too little too late though, because he's going to lose this match anyway. That's it. 2-0 win. Didn't manage to score in the second half, but I tell you what, the first half was incredible. Really, really good first half from us. And I managed to get the 2 goals through Bernardo Silva. He was basically the difference between the 2 teams. A little bit of clinical finishing there, and that just meant that we were able to get ourselves what was pretty comfortable, to be honest, in the end. Dominating performance, and certainly just outclassed them, I think, in many areas of the pitch. 9 shots, 8 on target, so like I say, some decent shot to shots on target ratio as well there, which is good to see. Man United, on the other hand, 4 shots, 2 on target, not so good from them, and we basically just managed to suffocate Lukaku's support from the midfield, so it worked perfectly, the 3 at the back in this game as well, which I was a little bit surprised about. I was expecting it to be a little bit more tricky, and it was in the first half at times when they played it out wide, but the reality was they just didn't play it out wide enough. If they had done, could have been a different game. However, we do have an injury from that. Kevin De Bruyne, it's only out for 5 days, luckily with a bruised shoulder, so not too bad. He will, however, miss the game against, I think Bournemouth is in the league next. I think that's just 2 days later though, so we will have a lot of changes to that team. And also, he's suspended as well, so he won't be able to play regardless, which is fine for us, because he obviously couldn't play anyway, so it's alright. But not enough time to play the game against Bournemouth in today's episode. That'll be next time round. We'll get on to that game. You can see currently still 3rd in the league, 4 points behind Liverpool, and 7 points behind Chelsea in 1st place. So the gap's obviously increased in today's episode and also last episode as well. Plenty of time though to try and get obviously some more points back and try and find a way to finish top of the league yet again. We obviously have 15 games left, so there's plenty of time to do it, but yeah, a little bit frustrating that we've dropped points through simming games, mainly the January transfer window, which is what I usually do, to be honest. But that's everything for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If we could try and hit 100 likes, then I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead, hit that subscribe as well down below, and that'd be absolutely fantastic. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at GamefaceHD, and on Instagram at GamefaceHD as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.